A very good evening. Welcome to Prime TV News on Friday, the 26th of October, with me, Iftia Abdul Qadir. A look at your major news stories first. President says the Sri Lankan government condemns the incident that happened to the Saudi journalist. Minister Mangala Samaravira has clarified how the income due to the country will be obtained. Laws against human trafficking are to be strengthened. Indictments and bail are given to 7, including Ali Roshan. And on news overseas, at least 18, mostly children, die in flash floods in Jordan. On to our lead story. President Maithripala Sirisena has said that the Sri Lankan government strongly condemns the incident that happened to the Saudi journalist. He said that such incidents should not happen in any part of the world. The president was speaking at a function held at the Bandaranaike Memorial International Conference Hall. The 7th Convention of the Media Workers Trade Union Federation and the presentation of certificates on the investigative reportage course was held this afternoon. Further addressing the function, President Maithripala Sirisena said that as a person who has an awareness on the issues, challenges and difficulties confronted by the journalists, he is personally dedicated to ensuring the privileges and rights of journalists. President Maithripala Sirisena has said that the guidance required for a virtuous and moral society is contained in the Tripitaka, Quran, Bible, as well as in the Bhagavad Gita. The president expressed this view at the awards presentation of the Gampaha Holy Cross College. 90 years had passed since the launch of the Holy Cross College by the Roman Catholic Church at the Gampaha Church premises. Since its launch, the school had endowed several virtuous citizens to the country. It has played a prominent role to spiritually develop the children, enabling a virtuous transformation in the lives of the children. The children greeted the president with affection on his arrival at the school. A sakura sapling was planted at the school premises, marking the president's visit. It was thereafter that the president joined in the annual prize giving of the college. The president awarded colors to the school girls who had brought honor to their college in various fields. School principal, Sister Darshika, presented a memento and the annual magazine of the school to the president. A large gathering, including Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, graced the occasion. Addressing the gathering, President Maithripala Sirisena pointed out that all factions should discharge their duties on behalf of building a moral and righteous society within a religious environment. Minister of Finance and Media Mangala Samaravira tabled a resolution today at the Parliament to raise 310 billion rupees by way of loans in or outside Sri Lanka for active liability management. Addressing the Parliament, he said that the government has a clear strategy to address the issue of local and foreign debts. The minister reminisced that this government took over a very fragile and structurally imbalanced economy.
Let me take the floor by assuring that our government has a clear strategy to address the issue of our local and foreign debts. Of course, the debt issue in hand was a legacy of pre-2015 mismanagement, and therefore, let me begin my short remarks by underlining the colossal burden that was left on our shoulders. The then government went on a spending spree on infrastructure investments, many of which yielded little or no returns. Mr. Chairman, much of the increase in borrowing by the previous government was from expensive external commercial debt, which requires investments in productive assets. For the first time in history, we have a clear approach to manage our debts. Therefore, we are fully cognizant of our outstanding debt liabilities denominated in foreign and local currencies, in view of the necessity for institutionalizing a legal framework for managing the country's public debt profile in a prudent manner that brings debt sustainability and macroeconomic stability. The Parliament enacted the Active Liability Management Act in March 2018 this year. Similar acts have been introduced in countries like Malaysia, Indonesia and Philippines with very successful results. Our liability management strategy is designed to ease the repayment of debt in the future and to ensure that such repayments are done at the lowest possible cost in line with the government's cash flow, prevailing and expected interest rates and the future maturities of public debt. The active liability management framework was duly approved by the Cabinet, and once the resolution is passed by the Parliament to raise 310 billion by way of loans in or outside Sri Lanka for active liability management, it would provide much needed legal framework to adopt strategies depending on the market conditions.
On to a headline-making story. The court has issued an order to direct a reminder for advice of the Attorney General against parliamentarian Nama Rajapaksa over the misappropriation of 70 million rupees. The order was issued by the Colombo Fort Magistrate when the case was summoned today. Nama Rajapaksa is accused of misappropriating this money in the leasing process of 4.3 acres in the Krish Trans World Crescent in Colombo Fort. Nama Rajapaksa, who is on bail with respect to this allegation, appeared in court today. The magistrate permitted him to travel abroad from today until March 29th next year and ordered to take up the case again for hearing on this day. The Special High Court today handed over indictments to 7 defendants, including Samarapullige Niraj Roshan, alias Ali Roshan. The 7 accused were summoned by the court today over the charges of possessing 4 elephants without a valid license during the period 2012 to 2015. The High Court enlarged them on cash bail of 100,000 rupees each and 2 sureties of 2.5 million rupees each. The court also imposed a foreign travel ban on the accused. The case is due to be taken up for hearing on the 8th of next month. The Attorney General has informed the court that the case filed in the United Arab Emirates with respect to former Sri Lankan ambassador to Russia, Udayanga Veeratunga, is due to be taken up on the 29th of this month. The Attorney General's department believes that a certain order on the suspect would be made on this occasion. Counsel Udara Karunatilaka, appearing on behalf of the Attorney General, made this intimation to the Colombo Fort Magistrates Court when the case on the MiG transaction was taken up for hearing today. The magistrate issued notices on 2 Ukrainian nationals to arrive at the Financial Crimes Investigation Division on or before the 21st of December to give a statement. The magistrate also ordered to direct this notice to the International. Investigative officials said that the said foreigners had maintained accounts in the island. The Attorney General's department informed that details of the accounts were being investigated. It was also mentioned in courts that they have been living in a flat in the country. The court was also informed that information on them had been sought from 15 countries. Minister Harin Fernando and Deputy Minister Manu Shananakara have given instructions to the Foreign Employment Bureau to strictly enforce the law against foreign employment agencies engaged in human trafficking. The Foreign Employment Bureau has also been instructed to apprise the foreign employment agencies in this respect and cancel permits of agencies that are still engaged in human trafficking. According to the Sri Lanka Penal Code, fraudulent abusive practices involving foreign employment, labor exploitation, sexual exploitation and human organs racket are a punishable offence. 25 complaints in this respect have been received during the period January to October 2018, while 12 of the complaints have already been directed to the Crimes Investigations Unit. 15 more complaints have been submitted to the Special Investigations Unit of the Bureau to initiate legal action. Colombo Fort Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne has instructed the prison's Commissioner General to provide special security to former DIG of the Terrorist Investigations Division, Nalaka De Silva, in the remand prison. The instructions were given when orders were issued to remand him until the 7th of next month. Accordingly, it is reported that he has been accorded special security. Nalaka De Silva is accused of conspiring to assassinate several persons, including President and former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He arrived at the Criminal Investigations Department yesterday for the 5th day to give a statement in this respect. The Criminal Investigations Department arrested him after interrogating him. Thereafter, he was taken to the official residence of the Colombo Fort Magistrate. On that occasion, the magistrate remanded him until the 7th of next month. The magistrate further ordered to provide him with special security at the remand prisons. He was also brought to the Valikada prisons last night with special security. In the meantime, the magistrate ordered to draw special attention to the health condition of Nalaka De Silva. This follows requests made on his behalf. The Police Narcotics Bureau at the Katunayake International Airport has apprehended 2 Pakistan nationals, a man and a woman. They had arrived at the airport from Lahore after swallowing heroin capsules last afternoon. The office of the police media spokesman said that the suspects were admitted to the Nigambu General Hospital. So far, 35 heroin capsules have been found from the stomach of the woman and none from the male suspect. The weight of recovered heroin so far is around 350 grams, which valued at around 4.2 million rupees. The woman suspect had arrived in Sri Lanka 6 times during last year and this year. The police media spokesman's office said that the male suspect had arrived in Sri Lanka for the first time. The suspects were due to be produced before the Nigambu magistrate today and secure a 7-day detention order. A website has been launched to monitor media ownership. It is being implemented by Reporters Without Borders of Germany and Verite Research Sri Lanka. The Media Ownership Monitor is an international platform that traces and identifies the owners behind the key media outlets in different countries. As a pioneering initiative between the German section of Reporters Without Borders and Verite Research, the Media Ownership Monitor platform has been updated to include Sri Lanka and invites the public to find out who owns the media outlets in Sri Lanka and how much. In Sri Lanka, the top 4 media owners in each medium of television, radio and print account for around 75% of the country's readership, viewership and listenership. The largest gap in concentration can be seen in the print media, where the leaders had 47% of readership. Media outlets are also not free of political affiliations in their ownership structures, with print showing the highest percentage of known political affiliations. Starting from today, the Media Ownership Monitor Sri Lanka will be available in English and soon in both Sinhala and Tamil. Anyone navigating through the site can easily access data on the major media outlets, companies, owners, as well as their levels of transparency, commercial connections, and political affiliations. For more information on the initiative, visit www.shri-lanka.mom-rsf.org, and for more information on Verite Research, visit www.veriteresearch.org. The human rights resolution presented by several countries, including the United States, against Sri Lanka is slated to be taken up for reconsideration in March 2019. In order to overcome allegations made in the resolution, the government should undertake an immediate diplomatic initiative telling the world the changes that have been effected in Sri Lanka. This resolution was submitted to the 30th sessions of the United Nations Human Rights Council in September 2015. The resolution was tabled under the guidance of the United States, Britain, Macedonia and Montenegro. The basic factors included were protecting human rights, consolidating responsibility and reconciliation. Critics point out that the world should be apprised of the independence of the Human Rights Commission, the Bribery or Corruption Commission and the National Police Commission, the proposal made by the Prime Minister to establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and the opportunity for the people of the northern and eastern provinces to lead ordinary civilian life. Minister Patali Champika Ranavaka had presented a proposal in this respect to the cabinet meeting that was held last Tuesday. The minister pointed out at the cabinet meeting that an immediate progress review should be carried out on the manner in which the government took action to safeguard human rights during the last 3 years. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has paid his final respects to the remains of the Mahanayaka of the Amarapura Mulavanshika Mahanikaya, the most venerable Kosgoda Saranankara Thera. The Prime Minister, who visited the Kedarakarama Vihara, paid his final respects to the remains of the venerable Kosgoda Saranankara Thera. The Mahanayaka was 84 years at the time of his demise. The funeral is expected to take place at the Hagala Public Grounds the day after tomorrow. Bicycles have been presented to children of low-income families in the Bogasveva area in Vavuniya. These families have been resettled after the war. The function was organized at the Bogasveva Vidyalaya in Vavuniya. It was held under the patronage of the Wani Security Forces Commander, Major General Kumudu Pereira. The Sri Lanka Retired Visiting Teachers Forum had made the required financial contribution. Bicycles were given on behalf of 20 low-income families in the area. Present on the occasion was a group including Chief Executive Officer of ITN, Chandana Tilakaratna. Major General lauded the social service program mooted by the Independent Television Media Network. For more information, visit www.itnnews.lk. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.